This is putting me in control of what I'm doing. Still have a little bit more down here. Okay. Now with a shooting board, generally a shooting board is going to be used with a plane. And I have a joining plane, a very long plane. And the nice thing about a joining plane is, as long as you're taking off a very light cut as you go back and forth, it's only going to clip off the high spots. Now I'm going to put in the two wedges on either side here. That is going to drive these two together, but we don't want it to go up like this. So what I have is another piece of wax paper and a weight, old-fashioned iron, cast iron. Then I'm going to take the two wedges, put them in place. Okay. Push everything down and drive the wedges home. Okay. So now I've got to come back this way and I got to get to that line. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this depth where it is, and I'm going to make sure that this stop is locked in place. We're going to put it on. We're going to start it up, and I'm going to drag this backwards. Center it over it. And I've already made a call that's going to, we drilled out a hole for the call. I'm going to fit that right over there. And that's going to push everything down. Now, take a look. Everything seems good. So we're not going to have kerf strips for the top. We're going to be using individual tentallones. So that is actually going to glue one at a time to the side and the top. Now our fan bracing here is very, very thin, and it's actually cantilevered. So it's high in the middle and it arcs down to, it starts at nothing, arcs up, and then arcs down. And just take this slowly. You're not, you don't have to take off huge amounts of wood. And you want to go a little slow on this. There's nothing you want to rush. But this cut needs to be made in order to mate the neck down the road. What I do is I take the same fixture, and instead of keeping the entire brace in there, I put it up here like this and use my little plane to just plane it down. Doesn't have to be a perfect arc yet because we can sand that down with some sandpaper. But a lot of shops that do a lot of production work use this kind of fixture. And again, it's called a go-bar deck. I don't have the slightest idea why they call it a go-bar deck, but you can see that the center line comes right up here, right up the center line here, which I always, when I build a neck, I have a center line here. Center line comes right across here, and the center line comes right over here at the top of the headstock. And to do that, I'm going to use a very, very small finger plane. And finger plane is very sharp. I've adjusted it so it's not going to take off a lot of material. I'm going to hold it on an angle, and I'm going to just come down this way. Okay, not taking off a lot. Hold it on an angle on this side, and I'm going to come down and take off the material. So at this point, I haven't really taken a lot of material off, but it's got a nice gable on it, which is what I was after.